after we go live, it takes a few for Be Live to see us. Interesting times we are living in. Evening, everybody. It's Drew Romeo and my best friend, Mr. Louis Sivan, who's here with us today as we are going to talk about the elephant or gorilla in the room. And obviously, we all know what that is by now. But in this live, we're going to talk about the 2 easy FBA hacks to allow you to thrive during this lockdown, so to speak, and how you can actually have a leg up in this whole entire situation. Before we continue, I want to obviously show you guys some proven examples of students in our community who's been crushing it, and not only just recently, but crushing it in the game in Amazon FBA. And this is Matthew. Matthew has I know him and I've met him personally. Very, very, very cool guy, very cool gentleman. And he is able to get 150K in 1 month. And you can see there a little over 3,500 in the sales that so far that day. So again, in 30 days, 150K, that's some people's salary, so to speak. All right. Next person we have up is Bua. Bua was able to make within a 30-day period, if that, $10,000 and also $316 for that day so far. We're not sure what point of the day it was, but obviously you can see how these numbers are adding up fairly quickly. And last but not least, wanted to let you guys know exactly this person's name. You can't see, but his name's Wendy. Wendy K. Wendy K was able to amass about $22,000 here in 30 days. And on that day, she was able to make close to about $700, $689 to be exact, of the day so far. And look at the time up there. It's only 2:55 p.m. because I saw the actual post. It's a p.m., not a.m. that she posted that. So again, guys, these are the numbers that we are talking about. These are the things that we are trying to get you closer to when it comes to doing Amazon FBA, coming to these lives and learning what it is you need to learn so you can be at that same level or higher. Louis has been talking about the importance of not just chasing the numbers and the large numbers, because obviously there are stipulations with that. There are pros and cons. But if you have amassed certain amounts of different types of products that don't go beyond like 10,000, don't go beyond 20,000, you won't be targeted by these people. So you'll have lots of profitable items that you'll be, private labeling, and you'll have total control over. So before we get further, again, guys, I see we got 23 people on, which is beautiful. Really quick, guys, right here, you'll see that if you see this notification, click get all live notifications. So you'll know exactly when we go live. It'll automatically let you know. And all you have to do is click the button, you'll be there. This is mobile that you're looking at. And so if you're on desktop, you should see a bell icon at the top of this actual live post somewhere on the screen. Also, what I want you guys to understand is that every week we do a giveaway. Giveaways will be should be announced for last week already, but this week we're gearing up again. For the folks who like this post, the folks who do hashtag live if you're watching live and hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay, and asking questions, what that does is it lets us know who's really engaged, and we get to select winners by the end of every week. And you'll be winning Kevin David's new book, The Unfair Advantage. This book has been a hit with anybody who's already actually got their hands on it. So don't miss out, all right? Right now, we're going to talk about the 2 FBA easy hacks that you can use to thrive during the absolute lockdown that we're currently experiencing in the Amazon market. And Louis, having the experience on how to maneuver such things, he's going to talk about what you can do and things you can actually take advantage of so you can have a leg up in this race. So at this time, you guys will be hearing from Mr. Louis Sivan.
Hey, okay, thank you, Drew. Firstly, I hope everyone is keeping safe at home. I'm talking from my home office, and we're in complete lockdown. And we made a decision as a company that do we kind of keep broadcasting during this time? Do we go quiet? But I think there's being locked up at home is a perfect opportunity to kind of learn about Amazon. You will realize that if some of you are already involved, if some of you are thinking about it, running a completely home-based e-commerce business does have some advantages. It allows you to be completely location independent. You can work from anywhere, and I've done that for many years. And one of the advantages is that in a time like this, I just carry on working. I'm just working from home. So let's be very clear what's happening this week on Amazon. Okay. Last week, Amazon stopped new shipments being created. In other words, Amazon didn't want people sending in products into the warehouses that weren't essential products. And then we kind of indicated to guys last week, don't worry, as long as you've got stock, as long as you've got inventory, everything's fine. This week, things are different now. Okay. On Amazon this week, Amazon has said that the products that they're holding in their warehouse, in order that they can ship more quantity of the essential products, they've got less staff because people are obviously peeling away, being sick, and they're having to close down their centers and things like that. So they've got less staff, they've got more orders, that they're not making those 2-day kind of prime delivery promises anymore, except for essential items. So if your product is an essential item, then you will get delivered within the 2 days. If your product is not an essential item, just a regular item, like a basketball hoop, then it can take up to 30 days. And it says that on the listing. I can show you Amazon listing to see it, but if anybody has, you're going onto Amazon today to do some shopping, you'll see that it'll say expected delivery time kind of 30 days from now. That's what's happening today. It started just 2 or 3 days ago. That's what's happening today. And it's having an impact, right? It's for those of us that are in the game, both my own products on Amazon as well as ZonBase. One of our products at ZonBase is something called PPC Autopilot. We kind of look after and manage clients' PPC for them, completely hands off. We do all the work. We understand it. It's very simple, but especially if you're starting out, it can be a bit tricky. And so we're seeing it across all the accounts that we manage. And this is what's happening. Okay. A regular shopper is coming along. Their kids are stuck at home and they want a basketball hoop to put in the driveway. Okay. They go on to look for a basketball hoop. They see the sponsored ad. They click on it. On a normal day, they would probably have bought it, right? Like 50% would have bought it. Mm-hmm. But what's happening today is they're clicking on the basketball hoop. They're seeing that delivery is going to take 30 days. And then they're like, no, I'm not going to buy this. I'm going to go look for something else. Maybe I'm going to try eBay or something else. Okay. And as a result, they're not buying, which means everybody in the industry's ACOS, your advertising cost of sale, is going up this week.
Yeah.
So hack number one, what I would do if you want to thrive during this lockdown is be aware of that, right? And I wouldn't turn off your PPC campaigns, but I would turn them down, right? You don't need to be so aggressive with your bids. In other words, be aware that your ACOS is going to be high this week. And like any high ACOS, the way to deal with high ACOS is to lower your bid, right? And so we would suggest lowering your bid, probably by half. There will probably be less competition because other sellers are also pulling back. And so your bids won't be so high. Otherwise, you just might miss some of the bids that you would have won, but you would win others at a lower price. Okay, so there is kind of no question that your sales will go down during this period of Amazon trying to sort out their warehouses. How long will it take? I don't think it would take months, but it's certainly longer than a few days. I think that shopping habits have to stabilize. So today, when we went to the shops last week, there was no food, nothing. The shelves were empty. When we went today, it was better in London. Okay. I guess another few weeks and it'll probably be completely normal, right? So I'm thinking that same thing would happen with Amazon. But whilst people are insanely buying essential items on Amazon, these measures are probably going to stay in place. Okay. So step number one is be aware, like have the you know, be aware of what's happening. Okay, understand why your ACOS is going up. Right. Number two, the second hack is if you are bringing a new product onto Amazon and you want to sell a basketball hoop and you want to get your basketball hoop to page 1 of basketball hoops, the way to do that is you have to sell as many basketball hoops for the keyword basketball hoop as what the page 1 guys are selling. And if you sell an equivalent number to what they're selling on page 1, you'll get to page 1, right? Therein lies an opportunity. I don't want to say this is a great time to make money and you should profit from it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this is an opportunity to drive your rank right up at a much lower cost than what it would normally cost you. Because if you had to do a launch with maybe highly discounted giveaways and you were going to do it in a regular month, you may have to sell 100 basketball hoops to get to page 1. But maybe this week and next week, you might only have to sell 10, right? And so therein is a real opportunity because Amazon, it's $1 trillion company, you know, it's not gonna not come back from this. It's just gonna be a few weeks. And when it comes back and it's summertime, people are gonna be buying like they always have, and they're gonna buy basketball hoops. And whoever's on page 1 will get those sales. So we kind of talk about it like you're a boat on the water. And if you're on page 1 and there's very few sales, but then when the water starts rising and you're the boat on the top, you just go up with the water. And that's what will happen. It always does happen. And it's kind of the opposite of we're a launching service at ZonBase, and people bring us products to launch at like 2 weeks before Christmas, you know, and you're like, really? Now you want to launch now? I mean, of course we can, but try and imagine how many products those page 1 sellers are selling, okay? And you're going to have to give away or do whatever that many to overtake them. So that's like the worst time to launch. This week would be the best time. And there's a little bit of, I can keep talking, and guys are very welcome to ask questions, you know. How can you launch if you don't have any inventory? Now that's a problem, right? But there are other people that do have inventory, okay? So if you do have inventory, you can still launch by doing a promotion at a discounted price. People will wait 20 or 30 days. They're very hungry at this time to get very discounted products. Right? So people will wait 30 days. That's fine. And so you can launch if you have products in Amazon. And if you don't have products in Amazon, you can still launch if you could have access to your products, either yourself or somewhere, because you could launch fulfilled by merchant. You see, normally, nobody looks at fulfilled by merchant sales. Everybody's looking at FBA because you get free 2-day shipping. But now that free 2-day shipping is out the window. That means if you're sitting with the stuff at your house and your 10-day cheap postage can get it there, you could sell it just as well, because it's not as if it's going to come any quicker from Amazon, right? So if you do have your product ready, it's just not in an Amazon warehouse, but you've got access to it, you can still launch with that. So those are my two hacks, Drew.
Awesome. I was trying to see if anybody was asking anything in particular in regards to that. And I was actually thinking from the realm of a beginner, somebody coming in here and listening to what you're saying about taking over. If I have, doesn't matter what niche that you're in, like obviously if you're in a niche where your competitors are selling fast and heavy on a regular basis, and now that things have slowed down, when would you time that? How would you time that, right? How would you time that so that way you can end up like letting their stock run out and then you can just hop back in so that way you can start claiming the top spot? Like how ideally would that work out?
No, you wouldn't do it like that because that's too difficult. You're trying to be too clever. You can't plan for your opposition to run out of stock and things like
take over.
No, that's too hard. What you would do is they're not selling that much, right? So the real market, the organic sales have dropped, but you could do a launch, which are kind of artificial sales, right? Mm-hmm. It's just normally those you have to do many more sales to get to page one. I'm just kind of alerting everyone that if you did a launch with us, you could do it in a much cheaper way because far fewer sales are needed to get you now to page one than 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or 2 months from now. This is an opportunity that we're in.
So let's see if we have any other questions from folks. I'm trying to type up all the hacks that Lewis was mentioning, guys, on the side here. So that way you guys can see exactly what it is you need to do. So hack number one is obviously, slice up your PPC, the cost that you're paying right now for PPC, not to go too aggressive, lowering your bids by about half. I didn't add that in there. Lower your bids by half and expect your ACOS to go up, obviously, because, people are not purchasing, knowing that the shipping time is going to be longer. But in hack number two, doing selling via FBM, allowing people to get a discount on your product, but knowing that it's going to take a little longer for them.
It could even be FBA. Even if you're in FBA, you could still do a launch. It's just that people will understand it's going to come later, and that's fine because it's going to be at a discounted price.
Yeah, and so so what you're saying is that launching is still a thing. Just the only thing that's affected are the things that are coming into the Amazon warehouse itself currently.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, cool. Let me see if we have any questions here for us. Teresa says, I'm glad that y'all are still persistent with this shelter in place / lockdown. Yeah, I mean, we can't just give it up, right? Veda asks, what is ACOS? Veda.
Okay, it stands for advertising cost of sales. It is when you are using sponsored ads, pay-per-click, you pay Amazon for every click and you set a bid and you don't necessarily go up to the price you set. It's just Amazon, it's kind of like an auction, and then Amazon takes whoever bids the highest. And whatever you spend, let's say you spend $10, 10 people click on your ad, $1 each click. So you're spending $10 and you sell one of your products, and your product's $30. You've spent $10 to get that $30 sales. Your ACOS will be 10 divided by 30. Your ACOS will be 33%. So that's how we all look at the profitability of advertising. You want your ACOS to be as low as possible, okay? But not too low, because obviously if it's too low, then it means you're not trying hard enough. You're leaving too many keywords unbid for. And so it's to kind of find the right place for your ACOS.
What would that be for the ACOS? What would ideally you want to be at?
You want to aim your ACOS, which is how much you are willing to spend for every $100 of revenue, how many dollars of advertising, and you'd like it to be less than your profit, right? So if you're going to make from $100 sale, you're going to make $40 profit after paying the factory, the shipping, and everything. If you're going to make $40 profit, you'd like your ACOS, you'd like your advertising cost of sale to be less than 40. And in the beginning, it's always a bit higher as you're trying to launch and get to page one. But once you're stable and you're making organic sales, then it should come down.
Yep. All right. We got a couple here. Juliana asks, she says, hey guys, Lori's here. What do you guys think about adapting to the market, the current market, the current demand? Very.
Yep. I don't think you're going to adapt to what's going on because the whole world is kind of in lockdown. And so you're not going to adapt to this. You're just going to keep going. If you're researching a product, now is a perfect time to research, right? Because you're at home, you're looking, it takes months to get a factory to send the sample to, so by the time, if you found a product now, you're not going to be selling it. It takes 6 weeks for the factory to make it, and it takes 6 weeks to go ship from China into Amazon stores. That's 12 weeks. That's 3 months from now. So things are not going to stay like this forever, right? So you wouldn't be like looking for products to start researching now that you could be selling in this type of environment. So you're thinking maybe you should sell essential goods. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do that. The markets are going to stabilize and shops are going to stabilize, and you'll be able to buy, tin food at regular stores in a very short while. I wouldn't start now looking to sell that on Amazon.
Got you. Okay, cool. Katie Hollern says, does that go for always? Like if it were June, I shouldn't try to launch something for the summer?
Okay. Don't look for excuses. What you want to do is you want to get a product as quick as you can, and as soon as you get it, you want to launch it. Don't be like, no, I'll launch next year. It's the wrong time, right? It's always the right time to launch. Does that make sense, Drew? Don't be like, no. It's June. I shouldn't launch for summer. Therefore, I'm not going to launch. Therefore, I don't do anything. That's a bad idea. But do understand the dynamics that if you were to launch a Christmas tree decoration now in April, okay, in March, no one's buying Christmas tree decorations. Therefore, a very, very few amount of sales, you'll get to page one. That when October, November rolls around and people start buying Christmas decorations, you'll be there. That's kind of what I'm saying, But so if you were really planning it very well, and it's now April, and if you can get a product into Amazon 3 or 4 months from now, let's say 2 weeks to research and communicate with the factory. Let's say another 2 weeks for the factory to send you a sample and for you to like it and place your order. Okay, so that's 1 month from now, plus 3 months, the factory making it 6 weeks, and then the factory shipping it to America another 6 weeks. So you're talking 4 months from now, right? Yeah. 4 months from now is July, August, right? Don't bring a beach towel onto the market in the middle of summer, like at the end of summer. Like don't be researching now a beach towel. That would not make sense. That you're going to bring it onto Amazon at the end of July, right?
Right.
But it's starting to get cold. Fall is coming. Maybe you can look at like a leaf blower or something like that. That's a fall product. You could start planning for that now.
Yeah, and I think on the flip side, what I understood from Katie's question was saying, like, if it is June, should I still plan to launch something for the summer? Since there's a lot of lead time when it comes to selecting the product, having it made, and then shipped over. should you, if she were to start in June, would it be wise not to do a summer product if you haven't started already the whole launching process?
Amazon is not a get rich quick place. Before you know it, next year rolls around quite quickly. And then don't forget, should I just share my screen quickly?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just going to show, this is ZonBase, and we've got a number of tools, right? ZonResearch, which is how to find that product, how to find the niche. Our ZonBase Chrome extension is very powerful. Sales Estimator, ZonTracker tracks the rank. But what I'm wanting to, just because we're talking about summer, things like that, is an app called Keywords. And basically, if you put in keywords, any keyword you put in, it will give you the trend line. So if you put in a keyword like beach towel, okay, it tells you that, you know, it's got a high monthly search volume. It's got a good score. In other words, it has a high search volume and a low number of competing sellers. Obviously, the sales of beach towel are picking up, right? But you can see the peaks are quite aggressive, with the main peak being around June, July. So if you were going to sell a product, you need to kind of come here and see when it sells as much as it sells. And then, you know, the word cloud gives you other keywords that people that search for beach towel also search for cute beach towel and pool towels and kids beach towel. And then the table of keywords tells you all the keywords that products that rank for beach towel also rank for beach towels with an S, and pool towels, and each of their smart scores. So this is quite a powerful tool. Out of interest, just because I know these things, don't ask me why, right? But if you did a search for bikini, you would think that bikini would be the same as beach towel, but it's not. Can you see the graph is similar but different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't dip as hard.
It doesn't dip as hard. And and it doesn't go up as much relatively. In other words, a bikini, whilst it's still seasonal, there is a lot of purchases of bikinis throughout the year, you know, as opposed to a beach towel. So you can't make assumptions. You have to use data tools like ours in order to kind of see what's going on. Okay?
Yep.
Cool.
That's awesome, man. You had your screen now. That was a good example of, you know, showing exactly the difference between the seasonal items and how not all seasonal items are created equally, obviously. Yeah. You know, I would have thought the bikinis would only would dip very, very heavily in the other months, but it's always summer somewhere, right? So people are
somewhere, or people wear bikinis inside or in pools, things like that. So yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. And guys, don't forget, one of the things I want to tell you before we get to the next question is understand the current, we are currently living and experiencing literally a time in history that's going to go into the books. Remember that. So if you guys ever sit down and think about that, this quarantine thing could be taken a lot of different ways. One of the things you want to capitalize on right now is the fact that you are home, no one's going anywhere. So if you were to try to sell something or running any advertisements or anything of that nature, or thinking about opening up a Shopify store for your product that you already have for Amazon, now's the time to do it. Well, like what better time in history can you think of where you're going to be at home, you know, by demand from your, you know, your county, your state, and the government, where you're home because you have to be, and now you get a chance to focus wholeheartedly on your business and, you know, just whatever it is that you always wanted to get launched or off your plate. And so now you have us here every week showing up, no matter what, you know, plague or no plague or pandemic or no pandemic, we're here because we know how important these times are. So when Lewis is saying and passing on these nuggets of knowledge, take them, use them. Like I said in my live yesterday, 1% of the people will take action and 99% will watch. but only those who really want to make it happen for themselves will make it happen. So make sure you take advantage of what we're saying here. That last question was from, I believe it was from Katie Holleran. So yeah, Katie Holleran. So I hope that makes sense for you, giving you that example. So David Smith, he said, and I think love his questions. David, what's up, buddy? I mean, I see you every week, so I love when you have questions. I created a shipping plan before the spring festival so I can process shipping. When it arrives, I'll reach out to page 1 to find ZonBase to launch. Cool, man, awesome. And that's what you should do.
So just let me share my screen again.
Sure. Get up real quick.
We've got very powerful software made up of tools, and then as you kind of scroll down, so the tools then become services. So by the time you're getting to the bottom here where it says listing optimizer, photo enhancer, these are services that we provide for you. So when you get ready to do your launch, you can come to us and we'll optimize your listing. But we've done thousands of launches, and a good listing increases organic sales. You spend less on advertising, etc., etc. But sometimes it's not easy to kind of know what should go in the title, what should go in the body.
Yeah.
We enhance the photos because all the sales come from your photos. We don't take the photos. You just send us your regular photos, and we just make them kind of Amazon selling. We offer a product which is really, really important and nobody talks about enough, and it's called Product Validator. And there's my little quote. We've launched thousands of products. We know what works and what doesn't. Bring us your product when you found something before you place your order $5,000 later at a factory, only to bring it to us and we actually can't launch it. Maybe we can't advertise it because it's a category on Amazon that doesn't allow advertising. Or maybe it's just so it's like we go through products. Do you know, Drew, what a jade facial roller is? Do you know what that is?
No, sir.
Yeah, I'm on Amazon. You're seeing my screen, right?
Yeah, I see your screen.
Jade. Look, straight away, it's like jade roller for face. So jade facial roller. Yeah. It's a roller made of jade, and you
yeah. There was a big hype about this. I remember this.
You roll it on your face.
Uh-huh.
Now, every single one of these products looks the same.
Yeah.
I mean, what's separating this guy with 700 reviews from this guy with 3,300 reviews, this guy who's Amazon choice? I mean, they're all the same price. They all look the same. They all do the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody on page one's got thousands of reviews, but this was a thing about a year ago. Yeah. And people were bringing us product. Please launch this jade facial roller. And we couldn't. We had to refund them because they pay for the launch, and then we say, okay, what's your product? They say it's a jade facial roller, and then we say, well, I'm sorry, we have to give you your money back, which is all well and fine from the money they paid for the launch. But what about the thousands of dollars they paid at the factory because they didn't know that we were just inundated with products that were identical?
Correct.
And then just out of interest, you would click our product scanner. This is our ZonBase Chrome extension. And then it's doing a live fetch of data from Amazon for that page. And it's kind of just showing you on this page that number one for Jade Facial Roller is this guy. And he's got 700 reviews. And he's selling 3,300 a month. It's very attractive. It's very appealing. You can see why this is a cool product, right? But it's very difficult to differentiate yourself. And if 1,000 people were selling 1,000 similar products, it's very, very hard to kind of hold your page one position. But this is our Chrome extension, and it's telling us that page one is getting an average of $13,000 a month in revenue. But page one's average price is $13, and the average reviews on page one is 577. Yeah. So like it's don't come and try and sell a Jade facial roller. You got 577 is the average reviews, on page one. Okay.
And this is why I think it's so important to when we mention about how important differentiation is. When we have folks who are like pretty much trying to figure out what to sell, right?
Yeah.
You can see why that product blew up. It was a small product, easy to ship. It's probably cheaper to be found at the manufacturers. Like it checked all the boxes. But obviously, if you see that, it's hard to differentiate. There's not many other functions for that.
Yes, you just have to be careful, because if it checks all the boxes for you, you just have to be careful that it's not checking all the boxes for 1,000 other people on the same time, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we were asked by our clients to provide this product. Not expensive, it's $100 by the time you use our 50% coupon code, and we're going to give you a report card. We're going to tell you, yes, go with the product, or no, don't. But we have other services, and one of the services that we have is a page one launch, where we actually launch your product for you, and then PPC autopilot. We will manage your PPC for you on an ongoing basis. So I'm coming back to you, Drew. But yeah, it will be a pleasure to have. I missed his name, but it'll be a pleasure to do his launch for him. So
yeah, for sure, David Smith. Yeah, he's always in here, man. Ken, he's always in here too. We saw him yesterday. What's going on, Ken? Hope everybody is doing well in your house as well, man. So Robin Boykins, he says, I'm going to see if we can get it up here. Robin says, so I can change my current FBA listing to FBM for the time being?
Yeah, you can swap and change all the time. The problem is, if you have product in FBM, you can change it. But if your product's sitting in FBA and FBM, you still have to get it to them. There is a way on Amazon that you can use Amazon's warehousing to sell products not sold on Amazon, right? It's called multi-channel fulfillment. Okay, that's where you are selling on eBay or Shopify or something like that, and then your product's sitting in Amazon, and the sale gets done somewhere else, and then you give Amazon an instruction, a multi-channel fulfillment order, and your software can connect seamlessly and things like that. That when an order comes in, then Amazon actually sends it off to the guy, right? But this week or next week that we're in, that's not going to really work because the problem is Amazon FBA is not really functioning for normal products. So if you had products that you had at your house or in another warehouse, FBM is great, and do it. But if your products are sitting in Amazon, swapping to FBM is not going to be the answer.
I'm only going to hop all the questions because she responded while you were speaking. She said, I have it on Shopify also. And she said she does all channels.
Yeah. Now firstly, guys, if you want to make it on Amazon, you've got to go all in. You've got to create a brand. You've got to sell it on all channels.
Yeah.
And so well done, Robin. I'm no doubt that you're smashing it. Okay. What you can do is take the opportunity, because maybe your Facebook ads and Shopify are just going off because everyone's so bored at home, right? And your Amazon products aren't doing so well because Amazon's gotten very quiet. Whatever your keyword is, think about it really carefully. Maybe now is a perfect time to do a launch for those keywords, because while it's so quiet, you'll get to page one in half the time, but with a quarter of the budget of what you would normally need. And that's kind of money well spent now.
Yep. Awesome. And we got a thank you from Veda. She says, thanks guys for the explanation earlier above. Dominic Simpson, welcome back, brother. Good to see you guys here. Ken has a question. He says, "What if you have products ready to place on Amazon in the next several weeks?"
Yeah, I wouldn't stop. I'll be held back by Amazon. Don't hold yourself back. So in other words, every day try and create a shipping order. The day you can create a shipping order, create it, get it in, and go. Don't hold yourself back. Be held back. It's fine. Now, if you've got products ready to place on Amazon in the next several weeks, that's an interesting way you've asked that, because does that mean that the freight forwarder is already on the road and is actually taking them into Amazon? They've already been labeled and parceled and it's on its way? Or has it not quite left the factory yet? Because if it hasn't left the factory yet, you might really want to consider a fulfilled by merchant option for the next short while. There's many, they're called 3PL warehouses. They're like fulfillment centers. We think Amazon's the only one, but there are many in every city, okay? And so you can just pick another fulfillment center that would take your order, would take your product, and then you can sell it on Amazon as fulfilled by merchant. And you don't have to compete with a FBA 2-day shipping. No one can compete with 2-day shipping. That's why FBA is FBA. That's why no one can compete with it, right? But whilst 2-day shipping's on holiday, no one's getting 2-day shipping for non-essential products.
Yep.
It allows regular fulfilled by merchant people just sending stuff with USPS, and because it's taking longer now, it can take 2 or 3 weeks. That's fine. You can launch with that, and it would be great. It'll work perfectly fine. You'll get to page 1 very easily, very quickly, and then you can bring your products into Amazon FBA and take advantage of being on page 1.
Yeah, guys, listen to all the information that's oozing out of Lewis right now. Like, he's literally just dropping bombs on you guys. If you guys are liking it, just drop a like on the post, man, to let us know how much you appreciate this. Because, I mean, he literally is just spitting mad game right now for you guys. Let me see what else she said. So Case Holleran says, "I got you completely. Thank you for the earlier question she asked." So Robin came back. She asked, "Can I create a new listing and do a major launch via FBM?"
Yes. So there's no difference to the like FBM or FBA. It all works the same. The way we do our launches is we do it with PPC, right? They're PPC-based launches, but we do a small amount of discounted giveaways just to add a bit of like sugar to the coffee, right? And so that's what the giveaways do. But now, because PPC, if you caught us at the beginning of this talk, PPC is not going very well because people are not aware that Amazon is not shipping their normal shipping time if it's a non-essential product. And so people are clicking on ads, realizing that they can't get it and then leaving, and the PPC spend is going up, right? So what I would be doing the next few weeks is doing a launch with slightly more giveaways than what we would normally do. You still don't have to do many because no one is selling very much, right? And so you'll get to page 1 very quickly. And you could do it as FBM, no problem at all. The rank counts. So your organic rank, will hold whether it's FBM or FBA.
Cool. And then again, like you said, you can always toggle back and forth, whether FBA or FBM at any time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
And you can do both, but just so you know, like you can sell on FBA and FBM. So like if you sell out on FBA, like it automatically switches over to FBM. And
awesome. Yeah, Amazon got the switch game like that. I like it. Ken says this.
Can I tell you what I used to do?
This sounds like a story of time, people. Let's listen up. What did you used to do, Lewis?
I said, okay, you know what I want to do? I want to do heavily discounted giveaways, but I don't want to use a service. This was when I was still an amateur doing it myself, okay? And so what I said I would do was I'd say, okay, I'm selling on FBA. I would change my shipments to FBM, fulfilled by merchant, okay? and I didn't have an FBM merchant. And then I would say, because on FBM, you can specify how many units you have in stock. On FBA, you can't. FBA, they count it in. And if there's 50, there's 50. You can't say to FBA, I only want to sell 20, right? Whatever comes is FBA. But on FBM, fulfilled by merchant, because it's your warehouse, you can set the number to whatever you want, okay? So I want to do 10 giveaways. Yeah. I said I only have 10 units in stock. And then I would drop my price from $40 down to $2 as the retail price on Amazon. Wait for them all to sell, which they would in like a day or 2 or 3, and that would be my launch. Then I would convert back to FBA and put the price back up. Okay.
Louis, thank you.
And there were so many problems with this grand plan. Yeah, a lot of problems. Just don't do it. Yeah.
Word from the wise guy.
The problems. You can't drop your price
so low.
You can drop your price. Amazon loves you dropping your price, but you can't increase your price more than 50 cents, $1 a day. You know, you can't, if you took your product and you went from $5 to $50, Amazon would take your product offline.
Dang.
Right? You know, you can't increase your price. So there were all sorts of problems to my grand scheme.
Man, well, we live and learn, right? All right. So Robin, we had some questions for you that we already answered. What time is it right now? 6:18. We are cranking, guys. I love it. Everyone's saying thank you. She said exactly my point. And I think it's earlier when you responded to her, said thank you. And best of all, she will be reaching out ASAP. Oh, guys, if you guys are looking to reach out to Louis or myself, you can find us in the group. You can type in Drew Romeo, or you can do Louis Civin, that's CIVIN. And I'll even put it in there so you guys know how to reach out. Mm-hmm. We also have a support our support emails for each of the softwares that Louis provides. Has a team of people that's just ready to answer any questions you may have about anything, softwares that you just saw. I think that's all the questions I see so far that I can see from both live. I have my phone here. If you guys see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone because I can see the live here too. And I can see any questions that don't come in. But if you guys have any burning questions, show them now. We only have a few minutes left. Is this a good time to kind of like show the folks who are like ready to like hop in, or at least take advantage right now? So we have something, guys, that you can take advantage right now and use when you're ready, but we recommend you use it, as soon as you're ready. Don't wait too long, because like we said, now's the time that you can launch and pretty much crush it out there against the competition for pretty much on sale. It's on sale as far as the price for running PPC. What we're doing right now is offering a discount code called Launch50. And it's going to allow the first 50 people, because we had such a great response last time we did this last week. It was massive. Like you said, Louis, you told me there were so many people, and we only allowed 10 last week. And because the response was so large, we just upped the ante a little bit. So we're allowing 50 people this time to not only get 50% off everything, which this code will be active for everyone who wants 50% off any package you select. But I think Louis also is allowing first 50 people to get the product validator for free. So it's an additional tool normally you would have to pay for, but you'll get the tool for free on top of the 50% for any package you do select or you want to go with. So, and this allows you to go with, you have the ZonBase tools that are involved, and then, the launch services that they offer. You'll be able to work some things out with the team there. But if you guys want to take advantage of this and have a tool that's this powerful in your hands during these times where people are home, there's nothing much else to do really besides doing in-home workouts and push-up challenges. But you can also work on your business, and this tool here is going to be the perfect combination, for you being at home and figuring things out for yourself. All right. I'm not sure. I don't see any questions, so we're not going to stay longer than we have to. Gabriel says, "Sign me up." That's cool. Let me see if I get Kevin to put in the link in there for everybody. Kevin, he's sometimes in the chat popping in and out, but if he is, you guys will see the exact same post for that you guys seeing right now on the bottom of the screen actively pop up. Okay, so any other questions you guys have? I see Gabriel. Oh, there you go. See, Kevin did pop it up. Perfect. Any other questions? Ayusha says, "Can I get in?" Of course, you can get in. It's open to everyone, and we have the first 50. So you have 50. I think we have you have good odds right now. We're also going to post this live in the group. So once we put it out in the group, a lot more people are going to be jumping in. Usually that's how it works. But if you guys are watching live, we always like to give it to the people who are here actively taking action right now. First, you guys get first dibs, and then we open it up to everybody else who's in the other groups. So if you want to take advantage, it's the perfect time for you to do so. Anything else? Any parting words? I know we talked about a few things, Lewis. For the folks, guys, I'm going to put up again the 2 hacks that Lewis had mentioned. And let me see here. So you can see here, it says people will be okay with a longer shipping time. The hack number 1 is don't be too aggressive with your PPC during this current time while things are shut down. Lower your bids by half, all right, by 50%, because your ACOS expect that to go up. All right, expect that to go up because people are not buying as much, especially knowing that it's going to take a longer time to receive the product. So they're a little more reluctant. But the other thing you can do for hack number 2 is to sell your items via FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant, which will you can offer at a discount, or you can offer your current FBA product at a discount, and just let them know it's just going to take a little bit longer, and they'll understand. They understand that. But if they're getting a discount, it's like a win-win for them. I get a discount on the product I want. I just got to wait a little bit longer. So, and it's nothing that's like your fault. It's everybody understands this quarantine going on, and they understand what's going on right now in the world. So if you mention that and communicate with your customers, they'll get it and they'll understand. All right. Any other tips you want to share with the people?
It's all good. Good luck, guys.
All right, guys. So same time next week as we always do. We are here every week, Wednesdays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lewis is totally completely different time. It's like close to midnight over there. But he's here every week, guys, for you guys to answer all these questions. So if you guys appreciate it, just give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, and give us any tips or feedback that you guys think would be super helpful for you guys to learn on our future topics. So we'll be seeing you guys next week as usual. Keep crushing it. And remember, keep your head up and stay safe. Wash your hands and stay indoors so that when we can get things back up and running, the world can hit the start button again. All right. So we'll see you guys next week.
Good.